Hi, I am choosing to start from a little different space of being more grounded, more settled, more respectful, and kind of don't want to spend very much time in dialogue, but I'd rather spend more time tuning in and tuning in to the reality of our environment, like Lulu sitting here. Let's scoot back. Tuning in to the needs of our hearts. Cosmically, as I record this, Mars has moved into Taurus, which is actually a really, really big deal. And Mars is that warrior, is the fighter, is the energy that calls forward action. And in my meditation this morning, I can't help but continue to think of Kali and the Bhagavad Gita and the Rig Vedas. And the reason why I call on these texts and deities of a culture that I did not grow up in, I call on them because they have spoken to me so deeply. And when we look to the heavens for answers, actually we're encouraged to look to the heavens for answers when we are at a juncture of shifting. We call on Kali, the Divine Mother, the Destroyer, to help us move from chaos to clarity. And the Bhagavad Gita is the song of the soul, and that call to action to show up, but with the remembrance of love. And we don't dismiss the pain and the reality. We don't undermine the severity of individuals living with so much hatred. But we call on the highest, we call on grace, we call on source, creator, however you want to say it. So that we don't call on our ego, but we call on and encourage the energy of love. So we call on that highest light, that energy of unconditional, since Lulu is here, of unconditional love, of the steadfast devotion, that we can be disciples of the light and turn up the volume of the heart. As I record this, the sun, the energy that's being illuminated at the current time is an earth energy, which is earth energy is all about structure and form and ambition and leadership, particularly right now. The lunar energy, right? So I'm going to be very yogic right now. I'm going to speak that language. The solar activating energy that is illuminating our lives right now is sitting in the quality of earth, which is structure, ambition, leadership, rulership, governing energies. And the lunar reflective energy of that is an balsamic moon. That means the moon has been full and it is waning, and it is the call for peace. It is the call for resolve. And it's in the energy of water, deep dive water. So tuning in, I'm going to encourage us today as we work with these physiological qualities of earth and water to tune into our container, to go beneath the surface of what we initially are feeling and awaken to that transformative energy that can allow our passions and desires to come forward and integrate from a place of peace, of being of service, and also providing forgiveness. And forgiveness is intense. So because we're in the parameters of me hanging out in my home with my dog and my daughter nearby, but you're unable to see her, that we call on that container of forgiveness within ourselves. Okay? And in that container of forgiveness within ourselves, we can then clear that energy and awaken to the deeper layers of our truth and be guided by that light to lead from love, to lead from that place of depth, to give structure in the foundation of our lives, the recognition that we are connected. We live on this one earth, this planet together. And together we can really call on the highest and bring down a divine ray of love and protection. And we draw a circle around our own individual selves as well as the collective. My meditation this morning kept calling in the vision of our individual hearts. You know, it's probably that image that we all know from being a child of the individual heart locked in arm by arm, encircling the earth and really making that conduit of connection and employing it inwardly to the soil of the ground in which we stand on, and that we want to dig into that soil and not weed out, because actually weeds can be really important, even though they can be invasive and destroy the natural landscape. But to really refertilize the soil with that bounded love, that container. So let's begin. And I'm going to let Lulu out, and she'll probably come back in as well. We're going to start face down on our bellies. I'll just leave the door cracked so she can come in. Face down on our bellies. And I'm also going to change one other thing. I'm just trying to make sure my phone doesn't lose battery, and I won't know. Okay, face down on our bellies. Call to the highest. Breathe in to the depths of your heart. And again, 3 breaths. Those 3 breaths are the earth energy, your highest, and then the integration into you. Okay? You're going to inhale and just lift the head, gaze back out. Stretch your arms out fully, palms up, left on top of the right. And let the head melt down all the way to the earth. 3 breaths again with even more clarity of this ability to tune into the love for ourselves, the sense of compassion and the relationship we hold in ourselves. Whatever is being triggered, that we can honor it and not bypass it, but we call on strength beyond ourselves to co-create with.
Mommy.
Yeah, babe?
Can I have some raspberries?
Yeah, you can.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome, love. You're going to inhale and bring your hands wide onto your fingertips, gecko cobra. Bend your knees. Heads come down to the ground, elbows are lifting, and just windshield wiper the feet from side to side. Okay, this might be a little intense. It feels intense to me, so if you need to, walk your hands more forward, widen, keep the elbows lifted, the belly lifted, and just let the feet move from side to side. We're honoring our foundation, the ground in which we're going to move from. Now step your legs out long, feet ground down, shoulders drop into the midline, core lifts. Inhale, curl heart up. Big full breath in, and then exhale. Let the heart bow back down, forehead comes to the earth, all the way down. Breathe here. Exhale, hug back into the container of you, and inhale, rise. Rise up from that deeper soil of the earth. Heart bows down, head comes to the earth. Full breath in. Full breath out. Devoted to that light and allowing ourselves to lead with that love. Exhale, bow down to the earth. Hands sweep in underneath your shoulders. Knees bend. Push the knees to the earth. Draw into the belly. Inhale up onto your hands and knees. Toes are going to tuck. Knees are wide. Come to your fingertips. Hips stretch back. Head may or may not come to the ground. 3 breaths here. Appreciating and honoring the privilege to be alive at this time, that we chose to be part of this energy, and we're going to use it for the highest good. Second breath, to really call on the guidance of the highest light, right? Starting where we are, looking high, aiming high, calling in to that which there is no higher truth. And then breathing into the integration of the physical and the spiritual, and leading through a harmonious energy. Inhale, rise all the way up onto your hands and knees. Bring the knees inside. Lift up, pull back, downward facing dog. As you're in downward dog, just 3 breaths. Be really steady. Feel the energy coming alive within you. Awakening. Crystallizing. And what do you want to crystallize? Come into that intention for yourself. Walk step by step forward. Once you find both feet, feel how the earth always rises up to meet you, and bow into that. Give back to the devotion of the earth, to your essence, to your love, and tune into how those two are essential for you to be here right now. Inhale, spine grows long, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhaling, lengthening. And exhaling, bowing. Inhale, lengthening. We're staying close to the ground today. Exhale, bow. Bend the knees. Step back with the left foot. Heads down. Pull that energy. So plug in. Feel the connection to the container of you, the relationship within yourself. Lift through the core. Expand through the heart. Deep, full breath in. As you exhale, bend the back knee and extend through the front leg. Big full breath in. Exhale, lunge into the front knee. Come into that lunge. Big full breath in. Exhale, back knee bends, hug to the midline. Inhale, pull the hips back. So my hands are also pushing into the earth, melting the heart. Big inhale in, exhale, low lunge. So there's a fluidity here. We're going to do it 2 more times. Right. Feeling that transformation that's going to allow us to rise up. Not from a egoic exhaustion, not from the delusionment of the severity of our reality, but from the true renewal of tuning into love. This time as you exhale back, bring the knee all the way to the earth. Flex the foot, soften the heart. Breathe here, 5 breaths, 3 breaths. Relax through the head, soften the heart. Exhale, lunge into the front foot. We're gonna pivot. So I know this isn't very knee friendly. So to be more knee friendly, you're gonna walk your hands to the inside, lift the knee, and then turn the foot. You're gonna pivot so much that you turn to the long edge of your mat. You turn the right foot in. The left toes are tucked. You come to your fingertips, soften the heart and bow. Hello, inner thigh. Hello, tuning into the deeper layers of ourselves physically, and then inhaling, coming upright. As I continue to step outside of my comfort zone with technology, I continue to have hiccups, but I'm pretty sure you guys can see me. I hope you can hear me. Bend the knee, pull into that center. Left arm's gonna lift, again. So ground, honor, respect, reach high, aim high, call in that greater guidance, the highest light. Hug into the center and then stretch to the right. You're pulling this energy in. The right foot's not way back behind you. You're in a deeper dialogue. You're in alignment. Full inhale in, and then exhale all the way down. Left hand's gonna come to the earth, heel toe the right foot in. Adjust your foundation. Honor how change has to happen. We have to shift. So as we shift within ourselves, ground into the earth again. Pull into that deeper energy of you. Keep the right foot grounded, right arm stretches long. Breathing here, 3 full deep breaths. And then if you like, inhale, the right leg up, parallel. Bend the knee, pull the knee forward, move the thighs back, get into the core more, draw the shoulders to the back. As you hold on to the foot, if you can, no big deal if you can't, stretch the knee back, draw the shoulders in, and open up more fully. Big inhale in, and a big exhale out. You're tuning in, and you're tuning in to the love you hold for yourself. Free the foot, ground it down. Walk your hands forward, bring both knees in underneath your hips, okay? Stretch the hips back, feet point back, come into child's pose. Inhale, roll the spine up so you're standing on your 2 knees. Hands to your hips, shoulders into the back body. Draw in, tune in, attune to the energy of you. Breathe into the depth that you have access to. And then from the depth that you have access to, honor it, respect it. Hands to heart center, lengthen the spine, shoulders to the back. 3 breaths here on our knees, deep in the land of surrender. Awakening more fully into what needs to be released. Respecting the fact that we all are here to grow and evolve. That means we all have things that need our attention to truly dissolve. Inhale, come upright with the heart. Right hand comes to the earth. Left leg stretches back. This is a little sophisticated, I know. Bend the knee. You're gonna stretch your right foot forward, left arm by your ear. Big deep breath in. And then exhale, hand to the earth, pull it all the way back. Downward dog. Breathing here, fully, deeply, completely. The earth is rising up to you. Be devoted to her presence. Walk forward. Once you climb forward, celebrate your ability to step forward, bow, breathe. Inhale 3 times, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow, knees bend, hands to the earth. Right foot glides back. So find your foundation, find your positioning. Where are the feet, where are the ground? Then electrify that connection. So what we have to be mindful of is that our nervous systems are really charged. So we want to tune in also for that reason. And our nervous systems are going to continue to be charged for the rest of the month, really until March. So pull in, draw in, and then inhale. Feel your back knee bend and your hips pull back. Exhale out, breathe fully. Gracious inhale in. Exhale out, inhale, lunge forward. Stay connected. Breathe all the way in. Breathe all the way out. Inhale, back knees bending. Hips are pulling back, hands are pushing to the earth. Lunge forward, extend out. Slow motion, really intentional with the breath. The only way we can tune in and bring forward conscious, inspired, aligned action is by slowing down. Okay, total of 5. Be with your breath. Be with the rhythm of your breath that supports you, but we are moving through molasses. We are moving through the thick goop, really, of karmic spew, but I'm not going there right now. Cool. Lunge. This time when you reach back, you're going to reach back, the knee comes to the earth, you flex the foot. Hello, big old hamstring stretch. Not sure why my daughter's running up and down the hallway, but she is. She might even be peeking in. Once you complete the fullness of the breath, lunge forward, mindful of knees, pivot. When you pivot, you walk your hands to the long edge of the mat. Turn the left foot in. And as the foot turns in, we're going to reach back onto the fingertips. Soften the heart. Oh, you have a little baby doll, Ben. That's so cute. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, come all the way up. Pull into that center, to that midline. Check into the alignment. Hug in. Right arm goes up. Draw in, lift up, reach over. So your inner thigh is pulling in. The feet are hugging in. The outer hips are hugging in. The ribs are drawing in, so we get expansive. So in order to feel the expansion here, we have to tune into the container and the connection here. Inhale, come upright. Ground the hand. Adjust where you need to be. So feel that potency to the earth, honor. Feel the devotion that's accessible and available to you. Then call on the highest as you draw in. Stretch the arm, integrate the 2 into the 1. Deep, full breath in. Stay here or inhale the left leg. Bring the knee forward. Okay? You could even just work on being here. Otherwise, you're going to find the ankle. Draw in, shoulders to your back, and open. Stay connected to the core. Ribs are hugging in. Sides of the body are long. Woo! Shoulder blades are drawing into the back. Opening. Feeling the connection to the container. Exhale, free the foot. Return it to the earth. Walk your hands forward. Knees come down. Move back, child's pose. No, you drink my water. Don't drink my water. You gotta fight for what's essential, right? Don't you drink my water. Lulu wants my water. You have your own water. Inhale, come all the way up. As you come up, stand on your knees. Draw into that center. So feel the connection, the container. We're on our knees. Draw into the ribs. We've just woken up the side bodies, the back line, that connection to the back part of the brain, the amygdala, and the physiological response system, the circuitry of this emotional trigger. We're clearing out. We're renewing. We're just respecting the intensity. Draw into the core. Lift from this back part of the head. Lift up, shoulders to the back, hands to heart center. Or maybe the center of the forehead. What resonates for you? And then exhale, hands to the heart. Hands to the earth. You're going to move back. Stretch. Right leg back behind you. Walk your hands back onto your mat like downward dog. You're going to draw up. Pivot the right heel to the floor. Draw up. Extend the left leg out. So the knees bend. Pull into that core and then expand. What are you expanding? Expand your light, your truth, and the room for others to allow you to illuminate the values of one another. And then exhale, hand to the earth. Pull back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe all the way in. All the way out. Slowly walk forward. Find both feet. Exhale, bow. Each breath, bow a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Heel toe of the feet apart, as wide as you need to go. Exhale into a malasana, that garland energy. And what are you connecting? What's that vision you're holding? As we cultivate this energy, what you see within your mind's eye is actually impacting your whole entire system. See into the deeper depths of yourself. Allow the light to reach into the places that appear dark. Allow yourself to be a catalyst for love, for union, for connection, because you are connecting and uniting within your own self. Hands come to the earth. Come seated from that seat, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way down. Maybe I should work on that. Come to the earth. Arms are going to go wide. Exhale your knees to the left. Draw the thigh bones in. Spin the belly to the right. Gaze goes to the right. 3 breaths here. Breathing more into the container of your heart. When we move more slowly and mindfully, we all of a sudden discover that everything isn't all love, peace, and joy. And so we work within the container of ourselves. Inhale through the center. Knees go over to the right. Thigh bones plug in. We create the connection of the container. Belly draws in. Gaze goes to the left. 3 breaths. You're holding space for your own self to reawaken, to feel deeply. And in that depth, welcome in the light so you can bring more of your light forward. Inhale, come back through the center. The only agenda we have is love. Unconditional love. Knees come into your chest. Give yourself a hug, happy baby pose, or hold on to your ankles. Move as you need to move. Breathe. Breathe in to the deeper layers. We're waking up. We're waking up the inner lines if you haven't noticed. Inhale, draw the knees back to the center. Feet come to the earth. Elbows are going to bend. Heels are just out in front of your knees. Okay, they're not at your sit bones. We're going to give ourselves the room. We don't want to dominate our physical being. Those days are over. Please join me in respecting the physical nature of our experience. And start with yourself. Heels to the ground, shoulders to the back. Draw into the core, lift from the heart. Throats open, and inhale, rise up. Bhujangasana. Elbows are bent so the arms can remain strong and fierce. So we're holding the container to lead from that true love, the unconditional love of our heart. And I guarantee you, because I'm part of it, we all have to work on the unconditional love we hold for ourselves. Deep breath in. Not our egoic self, not the self that keeps everything separate, but we have to separate in order to acknowledge and honor our own energy within ourselves. And then we reunite. Exhale, slowly lead with the inner thighs. Keep the core engaged. Bring your hips back down to the earth. One full breath here. Ground into the foundation, your elbows, the backs of the arms, the back of the skull, your 2 feet. Inhale, allow that energy from the earth to also feel like it's lifting you up. That is not, you are not relying on your own efforts. You're allowing for the greater guidance and infrastructure to support you and guide you. Breathe deeply into the engagement you're holding with yourself. Tune in to the adjustments and realignment that are necessary. As you exhale, lead with the inner thighs. There's still a lot of mindful connection, engagement, and embracing of the physicality, holding the system. Big breath in. And we feel in our bodies to help adjust the mind. Inhale, rise. To help a little of that electricity from being traumatized in our lives. And trauma happens when you catch a red light and you're running late, just so you know. Don't judge the level of crisis you've experienced in your life. But recognize that by living here on earth, we are all working towards survival. Slowly come all the way down. And we all share in the sacred breath, even those that are your enemies. This is all the influence of the Bhagavad Gita, by the way. Come all the way to the earth. Knees can open wide or knees can come together. And settle here with the toxicity that comes with being alive. And ask that to settle, to dissolve, to reorganize itself into fierce love. Unconditional. That means you do this for me, I'll do that for you. No. We offer, though, with boundaries. Walk the feet in, walk the knees in. Draw the left knee in, left ankle to your thigh. Right foot's going to climb up. Again, breathe into the back of the heart. Breathe into the spaciousness of the side body. Expand the arms. Let the ground hold you and feel held. Can you allow yourself to feel supported? Can you connect into that? That's part of the forgiveness, is that we are the ones who tend to get in the way. So can you forgive yourself for all the times you denied the support system that was unseen but always available? Draw into the center. The knees roll to the left. We're not pushing anything anywhere. We're working with gravity. We're allowing that great law of gravity to hold us and anchor us. Inhale, come back through to the center. Hi, baby girl. And as you come through the center, left knee is going to return to the earth. Right ankle to the thigh. Shoulders draw in, throats open, use the core, right foot rises. Clearing out all that's getting bound between our hearts, our souls, our higher self, and our connection to being real in the material world, in the world that is seen. And then exhale the left foot down. I just found a major point of vulnerability in my being. So I'm respecting that even more, because that's what's happening. We're going into deeper layers where that vulnerability comes through. You hold authority over you. You're the only one. You are the only one that knows the volatility of your own vulnerability. And I really feel that we're being called to just to accept that. There's nothing wrong with us that we're uncomfortable being vulnerable. Inhale, come all the way upright. I gotta make sure Lulu's not scratching her eye. Once you come upright, both feet to the ground. Stretch your legs out long, arms back behind your head. My door's open. So I gotta change the flow. You're going to slowly draw in. I can't do it. You're going to rise up. You just have the... It's just cold with that door open, lady. As you rise up, we're going to be seated again. So we just came to the earth. And as we come to the earth, find one seat in the ground again. Bend the knees. Left ankle comes to the thigh. Right foot is not going to cross over the knee. Okay, we're going to keep the right foot out, but the left knee is bent. Hands around the eye of the knee. Draw in. Shoulders draw in. Flex the foot. Knee pulls in towards your heart. Okay? And what we're doing is we're actually using the strength of the upper body, hugging into our roots, respecting it, and picking up the foot with integrity and connection. The left hand's going to go to the right side of the foot. Knees bent, elbows bent. Pull it to the center. Lean forward. And then extend up. Now, your knee may need to stay bent. I would really like for you to work in that, in the spine of your being, the container that holds your nervous system. If we're all rounded and slouched, we're not caring for our nervous system. So pull in, draw in, extend. If you can bring the other foot, bring the other foot. Other hand, sorry, not the other foot. Full breath in. 5 breaths here. Tuning in. to the love. Your breath is the oxygen you're inviting into your system is reaching into every cell that appears contracted and bound to attention. And with your intention, you're calling on the system of you to allow that oxygenated blood to reach to the cells, to purify and restore. And at the same time, releasing through the exhale what is no longer necessary to hold on to. And then exhale, bend the right knee, left elbow hugs in, adjust your hips if you need to, and your legs. Right hand comes behind you, draw into that core and twist. Feel the length, elongation of the spine. Let the earth help facilitate that versus dropping down to the earth. Call the energy of your foundation to help you rise. Deep, full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, come all the way through to the center. Open the left knee out, both hands to your knees. Lengthen the spine, open the heart. So I think you all are noticing the potency of the subtlety. There is a potency to grace. Hence why I began with the conversation of Kali. That we have to call on the Divine Mother, oddly enough, when the shit hits the fan. Draw the right foot in. Hands around the eye of the knee. Now this has nothing to do with his story or her story. But as I've called in Kali for the first time in my life, I've always been scared of her. But motherhood kind of demands it. I have Lakshmi and Saraswati on my altar, not Kali. But I have Shiva, so they're one and the same. But they're not. So bend the knee, lengthen the spine, draw into the core, rise up through the heart, lean back so that the foot, you're working so much, the shoulders are hugging to the midline, that you lift. Right hand's gonna reach across to the left foot, knee still bent. We're still in this angle, the challenge. Believe it or not, this is easier. This is not aligned. This is the ego thinking, wow, I'm doing great. Look at me. Which we need hits of that to go forward, because if we're always being called into that warrior energy to be a catalyst of change, it's really difficult. So draw in. We have to be patient with the change. So here's patience right here. That earth-like energy, embody this ability to maybe not even extend the leg. I'm not going to on this side. And we're going to rise. We're going to expand. We're going to connect. 5 breaths. Crown Chasana, a version of Crown Chasana. And then as you exhale, bend the knee. So what I was saying is that we're working with foundational expressions of poses. The advanced offering is by going in deeper and tuning in to that energy that is guiding you to find the alignment that is supportive of the foundation of you, the valuable nature of your human essence, and work with that, not to go out and continue to separate from one another, but to hold the space to allow others' true, pure light to come forward and shine. Hands around the eye of the knee, lengthen the spine. So adjust those sit bones, adjust the foundation, not to avoid, but to tune in more fully. Left hand behind you, right hand here. Draw into the core, shoulders to the back. There's a lengthening, there's an engaging, there's a holding the energy of the heart first, and then orienting from the depths of our core, from the depths of all that we're digesting, and anchoring it into the earth so we can go deeper to bring forward that light. Inhale, come all the way back through the center. Both feet come forward. Maybe. Actually, I'm going to shift. Stretch the right leg out long. Stretch your left leg out long. Wide-legged forward bend. A pose that holds so much vulnerability for so many reasons. Getting on your mat is so vulnerable because we are going inward. If we're always performing, if we're in performance, we're only going inward to a certain level, right? So the water energy is invoke the container so the system feels held to get a little bit deeper in the discomfort. Like I am doing this right now, my inner thoughts are screaming volume. So my ego and mind know based on past experiences I can fold. My inner self says, oh no, you're not. I know, darn bolsters. So I have resources that I can use, not from a shame of being privileged, but from the ability to utilize to bring more clarity so I can spend my privilege wisely. Ground in, hug in, draw into the core, lengthen, and then fold. And honestly, even with bolsters, even with resources, I can't access what I think I need. So I'm going to back off. You bow into where you need to be. And maybe you bow in and you're like, Teresa, you suck. You have bolsters and blocks, and that's not fair. We don't have access to that. Use the wall, go to a couch, lie on your back, elevate your legs, go that direction, turn it upside down. Adjust the resources in a way to meet you where you are so you can continue to tune in rather than getting angry. Or frustrated or unable to experience your truth. Five breaths. And after you're there for those first initial 3 breaths, which I haven't encouraged you to do, hopefully the 5 breaths come because you've allowed yourself to realign by tuning in. And I'll unpack that in a minute. Exhale all the way out. Hands come in, shoulders drawn to the back. Inhale, rise up wherever you are. If your legs up the wall, feel free to stay there. If you went into an expression of that nature, stay there. Otherwise, come into a seat. that supports you. And in that seat, you're going to be invited, I'm going to lead us through a meditation, a prayer, and a visualization. You'll melt into Shavasana when you're ready. Please respect Shavasana. It's the secret ingredient of yoga. It's the assimilation. Okay? So, I know I've spoken about things that might feel exclusive, but it's because I could move away from the traditions that I experienced that limited my ability to connect, that I stepped out to other cultures. I also have a Cancer moon in the 9th house, so that need to feel and a bigger picture energy is essential. So come seated, find that seat that resonates for you, and yes, I have this, I'm going to sit on it. Just get comfortable. Don't control, get comfortable. Get comfortable, because guess what? When your system is settled, you have more clarity. When you control the system, you have more agitation. I'm not here for you to get agitated, although you may have been. I love this little trend of baggy sweatshirts with pockets in it. It's perfect for meditating. So I am going to use my pockets. Your hands can sit in your lap. They can sit here. They can sit on your heart. They can sit here. I want you to get comfortable. Go sit in a chair. Go lean against the wall. I am being a little fierce in this languaging to really encourage each of us to pause daily, to renew and restore our love. And right, there's 5 different love languages. What language speaks for you? Tune into that. Orient yourself to love. I know it sounds cheesy. Oh, love, love, love. But I'm going to tell you right now, there was a great master who walked on this earth, who gave his life and shared so many transitions with an amazing woman. And those transmissions are coming through at a new rate for me. And that this great master has always been a teacher by my side. And all I can hear is love, love, love one another, love one another, love one another. And the Bhagavad Gita is, you are fighting for love. It is the song of the soul. It is our evolution. And yes, you will have to go to battle. Not battle, don't put the words of battle in our traditional concept. Go to this esoteric idea of invoking an energy that is greater than you and inviting it forward, so that when you show up in the realm of reality, in the platform of life, of experience, that you bring the highest with you. And we connect to that which is unseen, that we all are here, humans, on this earth. So, creation, sustenance, dissolution are these patterns of the threes. The breathe into the hips, call into the highest, integrate into your heart. These patterns of threes: create, we're seated, sustain, breathe, be aware. What needs to be released, dissolve. And as you let go, things will be hidden from you because you are reorganizing. And you're not reorganizing on your own. You're reorganizing with that creative life source. And then guess what? Grace reveals herself. The bestowment of the revelatory nature of the moment guides us forward. So 3 breaths just to feel. Hands are placed. We're going to go into the heart. Into the bottom of the heart. To the roots of the heart. Into the soil and the fabric of our being. And we're going to invite the breath. This might seem a little bit odd, but from the back body. So as you breathe in, obviously I know your nose is up front. I want you to think of breathing into the back of the head, so that will keep you from getting heavy in the mind. So you're going to breathe in like you're leaning in. And you're going to feel the breath come in from the back of the heart and the back waistline. So really those three major curves, back of the neck, low back, back of the heart, we're going to breathe into. Because that water energy is this. It's curvy. It moves. Unless it's fixed water, and then it just bangs until things change. So, which there's a lot of that energy right now. So as you're breathing in, we lean into the mystical, the magical, the unseen. If you have not had the opportunity to define your own articulation of spirit, I beg you to begin. And you may not have the words to articulate it for some time, but just breathe into what you know that has no form as we sit here. Each time you inhale, lean into the back body, into the bigger energy, into the container that holds all of us and each of us. Welcome in the breath of life into the depths of your heart, into your roots, so that you're inviting in that love, the breath of light, that energy that sustains us, and simplifying it by just letting it pour into your roots, into your essence. And then as you exhale, just know you are letting go the forgiveness, the release, the resolve, the making peace. So we begin again, and you inhale again into those curves and into that energy. Just 5 more breaths here on your own. Connecting, invoking, and sustaining, and simplifying. Deep inhale in, and a deep exhale out. Stay here though, stay here in the energy, and the calling that love may prevail. Bring the hands to a position that you can feel connected with. Connect to the best of your ability of a healing light pouring down into your own heart. Recognizing the wounds of your own heart and soul. cutting cords with the turmoil that binds you to denying our capacity to evolve. And as you see that light filling the layers that you've tuned into, that you've prepared the soil to receive, to fertilize, to be patient with the growth,